Hey Matt. Hey Matt. Blah 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 blah. I'll leave that until the fucked up. Hey Matt, how's it going? Doing good, douchebag. Well, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, my name is Matt. I don't know who I'm saying hi Matt to. But I fucked up, I'll leave it in. But honestly, honesty, fuck. I need a drink to settle it. Fucking hell. But getting to the point, people are like, get the fucking point, Scooter. After Vampires, a few years went by, and I know John Carpenter has a new film coming out called The Ward. I don't know too much information about it. I think there's a little trailer or just a little clip on YouTube. I know there's a plot synopsis. I can't remember 100% what the plot synopsis is. It's great that John Carpenter's coming back, but it's been a long while. It's been 8 years because the last film he did, well, granted, after this he did 2 episodes of the Masters of Horror, one called Cigarette Burns, the other called Pro-Life. But before the last film he had done was Ghosts of Mars, 2001 film. Now, Ghosts of Mars, what you have here is Natasha. I am fucking up today. Natasha Henstridge from Species. She's a badass sort of cop who they find her handcuffed on this train that sort of rolls into the station on Mars. And basically, she's in a hearing, and she tells, and we hear in flashback form what happened. Now, basically, this wasn't the idea of the film to be told in flashbacks. It was more in a, from beginning to middle to end. But they felt that, well, it's kind of it's missing something. It's sort of your typical movie. So to do a little bit different, they decided to tell in flashbacks, which to me, kind of the wrong idea. Because typically you don't know that Natasha Henstridge is going to survive. Obviously, if she dies, she fucking wouldn't be talking to these people in the hearing. And B, well, you say the person who handcuffed her is probably alive and escaped. Well, you probably know that because it's Ice Cube, and I don't know. But anyway, she tells her story where they had come with it's her and Jason Statham, early one of the before Transporter and all these films, Crank and all this, and you have Pam Grier and Clea Duvall, who's this girl here who she was in The Faculty, and she does an alright job, but they're going down to pick up Desolation Williams, played by Ice Cube. Supposed to be sort of kind of like your Snake Plissken type of badass convict type of guy. And they get to this town, and the settlement on Mars, and it's deserted. They don't know what's going on. Then they find these dead bodies with heads cut off, and they're wondering what's going on. And basically, you have the scientist. This woman who's there in the jail where you have these other inmates, and another one you have Ice Cube's character. And this girl, Joanna Cassidy, she tells about how she was part of this group and they were excavating these mines and they let loose this evil, and that they're really the ghosts of Mars, that there was this Mars civilization years, hundreds or thousands of years ago, and they want to take back what's theirs, the planet. And they can possess people, and then these people who are possessed, they sort of become they're savage, and they're possessed by these ghosts of Mars, and they file their teeth down, and they cut themselves, and they disfigure themselves, almost like weird S&M type tattoo type shit. Kind of like, how you call it, savages, or how they're savages, but I'm kind of compared to how you look at Natural Geographic and look at tribes, and they puts needles in their cheeks and stuff, kind of like that. And basically they all have to team up, the cops and the criminals and stuff, to combat these ghosts of Mars. You have this leader, sort of a Marilyn Manson reject, this guy here. I call him Marilyn Manson reject, but you know, they speak in this alien tongue, and if you kill one, the spirit just leaves them but can possess another. So it's like they can't really die. And basically they have to learn to survive. So basically, I mean, the plot right there, it's you take Assault on Precinct 13 and a little bit of The Thing, a little bit of Escape from New York. Well, not really. The Convict, but you had Convicts in Assault on Precinct 13. So you take Assault on Precinct 13 with a little bit of The Thing, and you sort of blend that bit together with Ghosts, and I don't know, you come up with a really fun movie. I mean, people hate the movie, but I don't know, I like the movie. I mean, this was a time where, like, special effects, some people complain about special effects. We know the train does look like a miniature. I will admit that. But it looks better than the fucking CGI shot. And, you know, they didn't have the biggest budget, so I thought the special effects worked well for what it had to do. They're not perfect. Again, I know some of them look like miniature shots, but they look better than CGI shots, is what I'm getting at, like Sci-Fi Channel type stuff. And originally, Jason Statham was going to be the lead guy that Ice Cube played. And to be honest, I would have liked that. I mean, I like Ice Cube. He does a great job in this. But, you know, Jason Statham, now that he's done Crane and Transport, it would have been great to have him star in this film. It would have been interesting. But, I mean, you have Jason Statham's character, sort of the horn dog type of guy who wants to get in Natasha Henstridge's pants, and you can't really blame the guy for it. Pam Grier, sort of a commanding officer, was sort of a, you can guess she has sort of a lesbian tendency, which I don't mind at all. Natasha Henstridge, she's a cop who also sort of has a little bit of drug problems. She does this, was it Clear or something like that, this sort of drug, which there's a point where she gets possessed, and weirdly enough, the drug that she takes, I think, you know, one of them gives her the drug, and it hits the ghost out of her. So weirdly enough, it's like drugs win. Drugs are good for you. Like, drugs help. And I know I'm all over the place. Okay, what I like about it, I mean, I don't mind the cast. Natasha Henstridge, she did well in Species. She does well in this film. I buy her. She's beautiful, but I buy her as a tough woman. She's a good job with that. Ice Cube is a rapper who's also a capable actor. I like Anaconda. In a B-movie way, I like Anaconda. But the guy has done good, solid acting work. Boys in the Hood, solid acting job. He does a good job here. In retrospect, I would like to see Jason Statham as the lead more so. But I like the people who play his brothers. Uno, dos, tres. And I like how easily Natasha Henstridge sort of sneaks him into the jail cell, tricks him into the jail cell. There's always that scene where, like, one of them is getting high and is trying to show a girl who's like bodybuilder type girl. He's like, shh. Phew. And he looks at her, cuts his fucking finger off. And Ice Cube looks at him and goes, "That's beautiful. That's what you get, you dumbass." I like that sequence. It just cracked me up. That sort of black humor just cracked me up. The ghosts, I mean, the action sequences, they're well enough. I mean, you get a lot of element of Assault on Precinct 13, which, you know, granted, I mean, at least it's John Carpenter, so he knows how to do that type of genre well. Granted, I think one big thing is the main villain, this guy. He looks like a badass, but he doesn't accomplish a lot. Like, one time he crashes from the roof and Ice Cube and them like light him up on fire very quickly. At the end fight where it's Ice Cube and Natasha Henstridge in the train, Ice Cube, it's sort of a fist fight, but it's not too great of a fist fight. I mean, it's not excellent. It's like, man, you want to see Roddy Piper and Keith David again, you know, but you know, the guy sort of Big Daddy, whatever the hell its name, he kind of ends up being a pussy. He kind of does. He kind of ends up like a pussy. He doesn't really... He talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk, so to speak. But, to me, the film sort of... To me, was kind of a takeoff on B movies. I always looked at it as a film that sort of had a tongue-in-cheek quality to it. Don't take it that seriously. I mean, you look at the ending where, you know, they're both talking to each other, getting ready for battle, and it's like, let's kick some ass. And the last scene where they're walking to the camera, and like Ice Cube looks at the camera, and you know, Natasha Henstridge does this,